Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
So ignore my pimples. I know y'all have had pimples before. I don't want people being like, oh, you got pimples. Plus, this pimple right here came from the mask that they put on me. So, this is how I almost died playing video games. Well, Michael, how can you die playing video games? That doesn't make any sense. You're literally just sitting down and playing a video game. You can't die doing it. Well, actually, Jimmy, you can. Okay? And I'm going to explain to you right now how that happened. So, I was just sitting right here playing Call of Duty. The new one, actually. Call of Duty Vanguard. The one you're probably seeing right now. I had my controller right here. I was sitting here. I had my headphones on. And I was just playing. You know, normal shit. Like, it's things everybody does. Nothing was wrong. All of a sudden, I'm sitting here and I get this very sharp pain right here in my back. The one that I've actually been talking about. If you guys watch my videos, I was talking about this before. How I sometimes get this really sharp back pain whenever I do exercise, or even when I'm just sitting down doing normal things. I get this very sharp back pain, but then it goes away. This time, it didn't go away. So I was sitting here playing, blah, 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 blah. Boom, I get the sharp back pain. I'm like, oh, shit. And this has happened before, so I'm just like, all right, whatever, it'll pass. So I leave the game, and I'm like, all right, let me just lay down for a little bit. My bed is right here. Boom, you see my bed? This is my bed right here, right next to my desk. I get up, and I walk to my bed, and I just lay down for a little bit. And I'm like, all right, maybe if I just lay down, I relax, it'll pass. So I'm laying down, and I'm just breathing, and this shit is getting worse. It's getting worse. Normally it doesn't get worse, but it's getting worse now. So I'm like, oh fuck. So now I'm laying down. My heart is beating like fucking crazy. Now the pain moved in my back and my chest and my heart. So it feels like I'm having a heart attack. I literally thought Light Yagami somehow got my name off YouTube and just started writing my name. So it's getting worse and it's getting worse and it's getting worse. I'm like, oh my god, I can't do this anymore, because this is the most excruciating pain that I've had in a while. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was definitely a 9. Mind you, I also can't breathe because it hurts to breathe. I'm taking extremely shallow breaths. I get up, I walk around my bed, and I come out here, I open my door, and I walk downstairs. My mom's watching TV in the living room. I'm like, Mom, I can't fucking breathe. Oh my gosh, Michael, just lay down for a little bit. It'll pass, whatever, just relax. So I'm laying down on the couch, trying to fucking relax. Meanwhile, I feel like I'm having a heart attack. I can't breathe, and I'm gripping the pillow to my face. And after like 5 minutes, calls my dad. My dad comes down, and they're like, okay, we gotta send this kid to the fucking hospital. My mom goes upstairs, she gets changed, she comes down, we're driving to the hospital. Boom. We get to the ER. They walk me in, there's a bunch of people sitting there, and we get there, and there's 2 receptionists, a dude and a female. The female's already taking somebody, so we have to wait in line as I'm fucking dying. And this bitch is going mad slow. She's like, oh, what's your name? Alright. Going mad slow, not even asking questions. And I'm like, oh my fucking god, you can't be serious, this is happening to me right now. Meanwhile, the other receptionist really isn't just doing shit. So my mom over here is like, guys, my kid can't breathe. He has extremely bad chest pains. We need to see somebody right now. That's what my mom says. And then the other guy, he turns around. He's like, all right, I'll take you. What's your name? Thank God this guy had somewhat of a brain. Asking for my date of birth, asking my name, my medical history. Like, bro, I'm literally fucking dying. Can we do this some other time? I'm literally having a fucking heart attack. Maybe, can we rush me to get some help so I don't fucking die while I'm giving you these questions? Just a thought here. If I fucking collapse and die, I cannot give you my name. I cannot give you my information. Anyway, we do all that. Boom. And then they bring us in. Bow. We go into the ER. They sit me on this table. Boom. Now the lady goes, Michael, take your shirt off. I'm like, bet. I take my shirt off. You see stickers. Puts it on my chest, on my legs, some on my arms. And then she straps these wires onto the stickers. And the stickers aren't even going on. Like, they're fucking falling off. Meanwhile, I'm dying, and my mom has to come over and help her put the stickers on. Like, I thought she was a fucking nerd. I thought she was trained to do this. But you know what? It's all good. So now I'm sitting here like a fucking computer, all strapped up. These wires all on me. He's taking something called an EKG, I think. Basically to measure my heart. Make sure I'm not going to die, or I don't know, something like that. I'm not a medical professional. I don't know. Then, after that's done, another guy comes in, and they bring me to the actual emergency room, with the hospital bed and the IV on the side. The pain's actually going down a little bit now, but it's still kind of bad. Like, I can't really breathe. They put the IV in me, the ones that you see in movies. Like, it has a little bag on top, and it drips down this little wire, and then it goes into your veins. Yeah, that's what they have. I'm chilling there, and then about 2, maybe 3 hours later, the actual doctor comes in. This guy was funny, you know what I mean? Like, he was lighthearted. He was joking around, everything like that. And he brings it up to me. He's like, bada bing, bada boom. Okay? He asked me about my symptoms, what's going on, what happened, where it's hurting, and all the standard shit that doctors ask you. I tell them everything's wrong. I say my back, my chest, my lungs, my heart, and then they say they think it's a blood clot. Now, when they say it's a blood clot, I am fucking dying inside, okay? Because y'all know what a blood clot is. It's the things you die from. It's what causes a heart attack, I'm pretty sure. I'm like, wait. You're telling me I have a blood clot and it took you 2 hours to come over here? Obviously, I didn't say that, but like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, these motherfuckers want me to die or some shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, but just to be sure, we're going to do an x-ray. But they call it a CAT scan, which is pretty much just an x-ray. And then he leaves, right? And now, fast forward 1 hour later, he comes back in with some other dude. And he walks in exactly like this. He goes. Alright guys, so we got something to talk about. Give him some oxygen. Right now, give him some oxygen. And I'm like, oh shit. Well, it was nice knowing it. It was nice knowing life. You know, it was fun while it lasted, but it looks like it's time for me to dip up the fuck out of this earth. And so basically, he explains that what I could have is a collapsed lung, which is also something, I'm pretty sure something people die from. He gets a sheet of paper, he draws it up, and he shows me that my left lung, it could be kind of like less inflated than my right lung. Now the other guy that he came with detaches me from the wall, whatever, from the hospital bed, and he's just pushing me on the hospital bed through the hallways fast as fuck. And I'm like, holy shit, what is going on? Meanwhile, as he's doing that, the doctor was on my side while pushing me. He walks back and he starts whispering to my mom in the back. And I'm like, well, you know, I've seen this in movies, okay? This is where the doctor doesn't want to scare the patient, so he tells her mom in the back and whispers it. So I'm literally shaking in fear, asking me like, yo, are you cold? You need a blanket or something? I'm like, no, I'm good. And then the guy who's pushing me, he puts me into this room with the CAT scan, okay? They're gonna scan my lungs to see what's happening. Boom, he puts me in, he folds me up like a fucking burrito, and he puts me through the CAT scan. That's done, they get my x-ray. And then I go back to ER. By the way, during all this time, it's still somewhat hard for me to breathe. Like, it's a lot better how it was when I left my house. You know, it's still a task to breathe. But now it's a lot easier because he put me on the oxygen tube that goes into your nose. So it was actually helping me breathe a lot. And so fast forward an hour or two later, the doctor comes back in. And now he's like, it's obvious now, your left lung collapsed. That was the pain that you were feeling. Then he showed me on the picture that my left lung is deflated from the top and the bottom by 15%, which actually isn't that bad. And then he told me they can reinflate my left lung back up without using a tube, which is what they normally have to use. Actually put a tube into your lung while you're awake, may I add. I don't want that to happen at all. So I'm like, all right, bet. Maybe I won't die tonight. But then they also tell me that they actually can't treat me at the hospital I'm at because I'm 17 and they would have to take me to a pediatric hospital, which is exactly what they do. I'm like, yo, doctor, thank you. I really appreciate it. And he's like, yo, anytime. Now, I have to wait here for the ambulance to arrive, which took literally 4 hours. Like, I thought ambulances were supposed to be fucking fast. Just saying. By the way, it is impossible to sleep in the emergency room. I was trying to take a nap with the oxygen thing on me. As I'm trying to sleep, there's this guy in the back in the psych ward, which is basically where they keep all of the... It's basically the emergency room, but for mentally ill people. This guy in the psych ward is screaming, Alleluia, literally every, like, 5 seconds, as loud as he possibly can. The guy next to me is moaning and dying of pain, screaming for God to help him and saying that he's ready to die, basically. It felt like I was in hell. It was so bad. Meanwhile, I'm trying to sleep in this hard-ass bed. You think hospital beds would be a little bit more comfortable? I don't know, just a thought. By the time the ambulance arrives at 4 a.m., I still haven't slept a single minute at all. I woke up at 6, and it's now 4 a.m., and I haven't slept at all. I basically haven't slept in 24 hours. And the team comes, they transfer me from the shitty-ass hospital bed to a shittier ambulance bed, which actually is not necessarily shittier. It's actually a little bit more comfortable, which is kind of sad. But yeah, they put me into the truck, so now I'm in the ambulance, which is actually pretty cool. I kind of felt like I was in a Batman movie, I'm not gonna lie. Finally, we get to the pediatric hospital. They take me out, roll me into the hospital, roll me through all the elevators, blah, blah, blah. And then they set up a room for me, take me off of the ambulance bed onto this bed. Now this bed is actually kind of comfortable. Not gonna lie, it's still not as comfortable as I would like it to be, but I'm not complaining because I almost fucking died. This room that they gave me is fucking nice. It has a bed, okay? It has a couch, a desk, they have a shower in the bathroom, they have a toothbrush and toothpaste, mouthwash, a comb. It was honestly pretty good. It was amazing. I'm extremely grateful for it. They put me on the bed, they asked me the same exact questions that they asked me before. You know, I tell them the story, I tell them everything. I'm not gonna bore you with all the things that they told me, but it was, you know, the standard things that they ask at doctors' offices and hospitals, etc. And then finally, after like 20 people are done asking me all these questions, I'm allowed to get some sleep, or at least I thought I was, because now I have to wear this big ass mask. The mask is this big and it covers all of this part of my face is covered by this big ass plastic mask to keep the oxygen, because the oxygen, once again, the oxygen is what is inflating my left lung back up. So yeah, once they're done asking me all those questions, it's about 6-7 o'clock now, and I'm still not able to get sleep. So that day, from 6 a.m. to about 8 p.m. I got no sleep at all. So I basically didn't sleep in 2 days. And everything else was pretty average. I just laid in the hospital bed. They came every, I don't know, every like 2 or 3 hours or so to check my vitals. And they also came twice a day to do x-rays on my lungs. They would keep me updated, which I really liked a lot, on my lungs. So they told me that my lungs are actually expanding, so it's getting better. They're not gonna need to put a tube in me, which is fucking amazing. I'm so relieved they don't have to do that because it sounds so painful. My parents come in to visit me, and then actually at the end of the night, not that much because I'm waking up basically every hour because they come in to check my vitals, and I'm hooked up to this machine that's keeping track of my heartbeats per minute and my oxygen levels. And I naturally have a really low heartbeat, which is what I learned from being there, because every time my heartbeat goes below 50, the machine starts beeping really fucking loud. And even when I'm just chilling there, like watching the TV or just watching YouTube or watching the stream on my phone, my heartbeat would actually just go below 50, like as I'm just chilling there doing that. And as I'm trying to sleep too, I'm trying to go to sleep, I'm nice and relaxed, and I'm dozing off, and then beep, 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 the thing goes off hella fucking loud. I'm like, oh my gosh, how the fuck am I gonna sleep? Finally, at around like 10, 11 o'clock or so, I was just watching the TV because I gave up trying to sleep. I literally gave up. The machine kept waking me up. I don't even remember what happened. The tiredness just all hit me at once, and I just boom. I just crashed on the spot. Literally in like 10 seconds. I just passed the fuck out. I literally felt like I just died. And obviously the machine still kept waking me up every hour or so, but I was actually able to go to sleep after that. I would actually have to like move my leg or like move my body a little bit just to increase my heart rate a little bit so that I wouldn't be below 50. After that, after it stopped beeping, I'd go back to sleep, and then it would just happen again every 30 minutes, every hour or so. I was actually able to get at least like 4 hours of sleep. Everything after that was pretty standard. My x-rays were progressively getting better and better, and then around 12 o'clock or so, they took me off the oxygen to see how my lungs would do without it. And then since I was fine without the oxygen, they basically just said I can go home now. I went home. I actually fell asleep at like around 12. I woke up at like 11:30, so I actually regained all the sleep I lost, which is fucking amazing. I slept like 11 hours, and here we are now recording this video. I definitely would not recommend having your lung collapse. I suggest you do everything in your power not to have that shit collapse. It's extremely painful, and it's just a grueling process. But yeah, that's my story. I wouldn't do it again. I would not do it again at all.